Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Hilary and today I will be continuing my August vlog. So I'm trying to be better at this than my first half of August vlog and give a little bit of back information. So I am doing book roast cheese magical Orillium Autumn Equinox exams and I am doing my career as cartographer. For that, I'll link them below her announcement videos, and also I'll link up and down my August TBR. But for this moment, I'll give you what I have read in the first vlog. So for first vlog, I started with inscription exam and I needed to do this twice for 2 levels. First was a childhood favorite, and for that I read Aragon by Christopher Bellini and I really enjoyed it. For the next I read for the prompt graphical novel comics manga the Gracelink graphical novel by Kristin Gashore, and I enjoyed it decently. I didn't feel the same love as I did years ago when I read the original books, but it was good enough for me to want to actually reread the series and continue on with that. Then I started for the elemental studies, start a book with a drink. I read Machine Man by Max Berry, and that is a science fiction story about a man starting to replace parts of him with mechanical things, and it was kind of humorous with dark humor and quite enjoyable. And for the last book in my first of August vlog was Demonology, to read a fantasy, and for that I picked The Wicked Deed by Shea Earnshaw, and this is a dark fantasy about 3 girls who were drowned and their ghosts start each year inhabiting 3 girls' bodies, and they kill at least 3 dudes. And it was a really nice and dark and twisted story and I liked it. So at that point I finished the vlog. I did read a book in between, and that was for astronomy, a letter L in the title, and for that I picked The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, and this book I will talk about more in details in my October vlog, so I'm pre-filming some of videos, but I can tell you I quite enjoyed it. After that I did pick up, well, I have been reading it continuously throughout August, the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And this is just a reread, just fun for me, but it does fill out prompt, and that is Animal Studies book with Animal Companion, and I have already finished this one. So I can show you here, I made a lot of notes while reading this, but I think the one thing that disturbed me or bothered me the most was the first chapter, and I got confused how the events were taking place. So at a later point in this book we get to know that Voldemort killed Harry's parents during the night of 31st of October, and then at some point Hagrid picks up the house has been fully demolished and brings him to Private Drive, where Dumbledore puts it in the basket. However, so presumably this takes, the house being demolished, Voldemort attacking takes around, let's say, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and Hagrid at some point picks up, and then a couple of hours later Petunia finds him. It says a couple of hours later Petunia finds Harry in a basket. Because Hagrid also said that he went before the Muggles started to come in and do their thing, so I'm guessing Muggles has in place. And the house was demolished, so it can't be like the day, so it had to have happened right previously. However, the book starts during the day where McGonagall as a cat is in the Private Drive, and then Vernon goes around and people are really excited and happy about Voldemort being gone, but Voldemort hasn't attacked anybody yet, right? So that was one thing that I think bothered me the most about everything. And I was really confused and trying to get things through. There was also another thing with Harry being in school, and there's a lot of werewolf references throughout the book, like again and again and again, and it was funny. It's also been translated a really long time ago into Estonian. I'm reading it in Estonian, so it was really funny to see some words. For example, jeans. They used the word geenid, not teksapüksid, which is like Estonian jeans. So it was fun and nice to read this. And up to this point, I have one exam left, and that is Alchemy, a book from someone's hated list. And for that, I have started The Jasmine Throne by Dasha Suri. I am 200 pages in. This is the Illumigrate 2021 book, and honestly, I'm really, really enjoying it. So this is inspired by Indian mythology and the world and everything else culture. This is about a princess, a sister to the emperor, who has been banished to a temple in the on top of a mountain, and she is being kind of jailed because she didn't want to be purified by the fire and kill herself. What I can tell you about, in this book, there's a lot of killing people with fire, at least 200 pages in. And then we have another girl who is a maid in the regions where the princess is being banished to, handmaid or maid, and she gets the task to look after the princess. So this should be about fighting the emperor, but also about religion, politics, and everything else. So the region where the events are taking place has been occupied compared to other regions that belong under the emperor of their own free will, and there is a lot of rebel people trying to take back their country. There is also the people in that region are a little bit more free living, that other people look down upon. For example, their females, women had a lot more rights and they could do with their body what they wanted, but also they were really okay with female-female, male-male relationships. That is not, that is more frowned upon, and I think kind of a big no-no right now, especially under the emperor's rules. We also had at the beginning a really interesting thing called rot, where the surrounding forests have some magic in them, but also some of the plants have been rotting, and people who have eaten that rotting plant, the plant kind of infects them and starts the leaves and bulbs and everything starts growing inside of them, and basically they are meant to die. There is more in this, but honestly, I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'm quite excited about the second book. I didn't order the second book in Fairload because the only thing I think special edition is this. And I can just pick another hardback up from whatever shop. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this. So now I'm going over the quests that I have done and what I'm reading right now. So for the first quest, Discreet Help Needed, Shrubbery on the Cover, I read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. And for the Guild event preparations, what was a body read, I read Nettle and Bone. The Nettle and Bone was a late night cruise body read. Most people didn't enjoy it, and I wasn't a perfect fan. There were parts that I liked it, however, I think it wasn't done very well. But again, all of these books are in October's reading blog. And after that, I picked up another one called Paid Animal Therapy, and it said one or more than one animal on the cover or in the title, and for that I picked Cathedral of Bones by A.J. Steger. And I think I am about 3 hours in out of 9, so about the third way in, and honestly I am not enjoying it. So this is a middle grade book about a boy. They have some sort of animation skills, I think, if I remember correctly. It was called Animists, and basically he tries to be an animist also. However, he isn't being taken very seriously. He has lots of family problems. Mother disappeared, sister died, doesn't talk to father, and then he goes and takes up a task in one of the regions where there is a big monster that he discovers that maybe the monster isn't quite monstrous. Everything in this book, in theory, is good. However, the writing is lacking. So I really like the themes and things it discusses about monsters, family matters, and everything else. However, there isn't enough of me in the book for me to be interested. And if I were to TNF books, I might TNF that book, but I don't. Basically, I still don't know what animists are, what they can even do. I know they can summon some things, some eldritch piece, but basically that's about it, or how it works, who can do it, what's going on. I don't have enough information about the world, so all the descriptions about everything is severely lacking. And I looked through some of the reviews, whether it's just me, and I talked to some people, and it's just not me. So it is a good book for the themes it discusses. However, the execution, I think, isn't great. I'm hoping it will pick up, and when I am picking up the book. But yeah, I'm not, honestly, this is holding all my heart and attention, and I'm really excited about this one. Sorry for the mess I am looking right now, but I finished Cathedral of Bones and it did get a lot better. We got a little bit more into depth about the magic system, the general plot, and everything else. The characters were good. However, for me it was very average book and I don't think I would get a lot out of it. But I would definitely recommend this book for teenagers and young adults because it still had really good themes in it. So I gave myself 3 stars for that, and I think Goodreads had 3.63 or something, so also quite average. For me, like 3 stars isn't bad. It just is, like I said, average. It has some good points, some bad points. Maybe not for me 100%, but I understand that I can still recommend that book for other people. It does have some good points. I basically read it. I had 5 minutes left and my dinner got ready and then we watched I Am Groot. So I postponed finishing that book like 1.5 hours or so, or 2 hours. But yeah, it was a decent book. So now I have taken back up Jasmine Throne and I am this much in it. So I have just about, I would say, 150 pages left to read and I really enjoy it. And I really want this to be made into a movie because the magic in them, it doesn't say a lot what kind of magic they have or what how did they get magic and so on, but we get a little bit more details throughout the book. And they have basically they can affect anything that grows, the earth, plants and so on, and it would be beautiful to see in a big screen, especially if it's well done. My only problem with this book, I think I mostly got them past that, especially in the beginning and in the middle part, where all the characters, there's so many characters, they're somewhat similar named, and I'm really bad at remembering names, so I was really confused who is who, and also who is for working with the emperor, who is against him, who is with the locals, who is with the rebels, who was who. I got some people mixed up. And also we have a lot of point of views. For example, for a somewhat random scene, there was some attacks and we see like I think 3 pages or 4 pages of someone's point of view of that character being killed. So I think, well, it did highlight some aspects, but I think there is too many point of views in all, and it does confuse a tiny bit, but I think it's gonna be 4.5 stars maybe. So today is 28th of August and I am back, and I finished yesterday Jasmine's Throne. And honestly, I really loved this, and I'm actually really excited to pick up the second book. I loved the Indian setting, and honestly, I loved the slight creepiness with the rot and the magic, and the darkness from the Emperor is thrown in. However, my problem, I think, tiny bit with the book is that there isn't a lot of plot, so it's a very character-driven book. This is about the characters, I would say the characters themselves battling it out, their strengths, their cunningness, and also what are they willing to do to achieve their goal, or even figuring out what their goal is. And also, it's a journey to see, and they're not hiding it, they know that, how some of the characters are already quite dark, and we can see from flashbacks how they got there, but also how monstrous our characters can actually become, and it was really nice to see that. And I can't remember if I said, but I think my one problem with this was all the characters. So there's a lot of characters with similar names, and since we have a lot of changing the point of view from one character to another to get this one tiny snippet of events from completely new character for 3 pages, and then we hear, see, and nothing else from that character. So it was a little bit of a problematic read in that aspect, because I was always thinking about, wait, was this character or another one? I do have to say there is a list of characters and a small explanation at the end, but also I was kind of lazy to flip back to that. But otherwise, really nice, enjoyable book, and I'm really excited that I got it from Illumigrate. After that, I had completed all of my exams for my cartographer career. So I read, previously I had filled out 3 subjects, and from the second half of August I filled out astronomy with letter L in the title, and that was The Whole Places by D. Kingfisher. After that I picked up Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and with that I completed Animal Studies with Animal Companion, and the last book by exam was Alchemy, a book from someone's hated list, and that was The Jasmine's Throne. After that, I wasn't sure what I was picking next, because I had a couple of books on my list. One was Righteous by Renée Oye, the second book in Harry Potter series, The Clockwork Girls by Anna Mazzola. I'm really excited to pick that one up. But I had picked previously from my TBR book called Radiance by Grace Draven, and it's the shortest book from that list with 300 pages, and I decided to pick that up. So this is a fantasy romance about we have a human woman who is a cousin to the local king and queen, and we have a prince she is supposed to marry from the neighboring kingdom. However, he isn't a human. I don't think we have been told exactly what they are, except the word Kai, whatever that means, but they should be an elder race. I'm calling him a troll because of his grey skin, sharp claws, and sharp teeth. However, they like to live during the night because they have like different kind of eyes, and their food is really different, and basically that is the whole plot of the book. So basically we have those two getting married, and then she moving to his kingdom. He is a prince, but not the one closely even managing to the throne, so he has a little bit more leeway. And I think the general plot around them should be basically someone is trying to destroy the alliance between those two nations. However, most of the book is concentrating on their developing relationship and basically how they get to their marriage. I'm 50% in. It started really great. The descriptions of everything, it was so interesting, so well written, that after reading, I don't know, a couple of pages, a couple of scenes, I was telling my husband that I'm gonna give it 5 stars purely for those descriptions. However, being 50% in, we haven't gotten as much of those descriptions, but I did want to read to you one of them. The stew had been as wild as a potato, but neither compared to the following courses of perfectly cooked eels, ruined as they curl in gelatinous mold studded with green herbs. The guinea fowl roasted and seasoned with some concoction that convinced him the royal cook wasn't a cook, but a necromancer, who ground the bones of the dead and mixed them with pepper. The cheese plate almost did him in. And he had to ask his wife twice if the one speckled, a greenish blue, weren't actually bits and pieces of fermented corpse. Her explanation of how the cheese was made had him wishing they served him fermented corpse instead. So basically at the beginning we get a lot of these kinds of really nicely written descriptions about different kind of foods, situations, but also their insults to each other that are not mean but humorous and honest and good natured, because one is let's call it a troll, and one is a human, and they don't find each other attractive. So it's really nice and witty. However, the descriptions and everything else has been lacking in the midway point, so I'm hoping it will pick up. But yeah, so I'll try to finish this today or tomorrow, and then I'll see if I have left anything else to read, or I'm gonna finish the quests also. But this, I don't think I mentioned, I am reading for potions that are needed, a book with potions or poisons, and it doesn't have potions or poisons in traditional sense, so I'm stretching this a little bit. But there is some kind of animals in here, mentioned a couple of times, that are really, really poisonous, so I am picking that prompt and hopefully get away with that. So I finished Radiance today. Today is 30th of August, and I am very in between how I liked it. I am looking out of my window and it's really, really windy. I think it's raining a lot and might be storming. We had a big thunderstorm last night. I was awake because of it a little bit, but let's get back to the book. So as I said before, this is a love story between a human and something called Kai, and I will call it basically a troll. What I liked about it, the beginning of the book was really good. It was witty, it had really nice descriptions, and I absolutely loved it. However, after 30% in, things went a tiny bit downhill. I was absolutely bored. The relationship, and it's basically friends to lover story, and as such it was a decent one. I liked their banter with each other and I didn't mind them getting it on at the end. However, I need some plot in my romance books. There was a plot. People did not want their relationship to succeed, their marriage to succeed. However, nothing happened from the beginning of the book, or let's say 30% in to like 70, 80%, 80% in. Absolutely nothing happened. We just saw the relationships. And then at the end, it's like boom, and you have people attacking, maneuvering, very descriptive situations. There was description how a mother killed her newborn. There was a very detailed description about the aftermath of somebody being tortured. And I felt it didn't go with the general vibes of the book. Also, the one that got tortured didn't show any negative effects of it. Just got over it like in a day or so, less in a day. And then the epilogue was really weird. So I think this book isn't for me because I want my romance to have a little bit more actual plot in it. I'll see where at some point where the second book goes. However, if you want a good, nice, easy friends to lover story, or maybe getting into fantasy romance, I think that might be it. There was very little, there was some parts of fantasy, the world, the characters, the magic and all of that, but it was too much there, so I think it would be okay. But today is 30th, so I am not certain what I'm gonna do. Should I try to read another book? Or should I start with my September TBR? I'm right now editing the video and I noticed that I haven't mentioned one book that I read alongside Radiance, and that was What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, so last of the T. Kingfisher books. And I read it for the quest Cute Hippogriffs Need Helpers, and that is newest book both are on my TBR, so it wasn't officially even on my TBR, and I quite randomly picked it because it just came out and people were excited about it, so it kind of is the newest book on my TBR. Honestly, I think again, you'll hear more of my thoughts on the T. Kingfisher vlog. However, I did like some aspects of it, but not all of it. I don't think it was anxiety-inducing as Twisted Ones and Hollow Places. However, it did have its own creepiness factor. So, but I'll get back to finishing editing the video and you'll see the end of that right now. I think you have gotten your answer. and I am going to finish everything here right now. So I think I did Aurelium quite good. I finished all the exams that I needed, and I got some quests also in. So I think that's about it. I do thank Chi from Book Roast for hosting this autumn equinox exams, and I had a blast. And I think that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.